is the human heart. Central to our physical body, our survival, revered by poets throughout history as the emotional center of our being. The place we instinctively touch when asked to point to ourselves. And now, what we have known intuitively is being understood scientifically. Researchers are unlocking a new science of the heart that could change everything we know about health and our interconnected nature. Coherence is a state of balance between heart, mind, and emotions, creating a favorable cascade of neural, hormonal, and biochemical events that benefit the entire body. But this phenomenon not only benefits us personally, it affects everything around us, emitting an electromagnetic field that can be measured up to 3 feet outside of the body. When you are in coherence, your heart resonates at the same frequency as the Earth's magnetic field. This frequency positively affects everything around you. When a group of people are in coherence together, this effect is magnified. Could communities synchronized in coherence lower violence, accelerate cooperation, and global harmony? This is the purpose of the Global Coherence Pulse. If we can measure the impact of thousands of people in coherence at the same time, it could lead to a breakthrough in understanding the full potential of the human heart. All you need to participate is your presence and your heart. To take it to the next level, join the research study by downloading the app and getting an HRV monitor to measure your personal coherence. The world needs it more than ever before. Each human heart is unique and magnificent by itself. But imagine what could be possible when we unify.
Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you're joining us from this planet. We are so excited that you've joined the Global Coherence Pulse today and are adding your love and care into the global fields. If you haven't put your name in the chat and where you're calling from, please do that. It's lovely to see. I'm looking at this like the Northern Kingdom of Vermont, we have Florida, we have Romania, New Zealand, Ireland, Germany, Alaska, Mexico, Spain. I mean, this is just me scrolling through the chats. We're holding our arms all around the world together. And we've been coming together on the 3rd Saturday of every month for over 5 years. Coming together and experiencing and practicing and learning about coherence and the power of our individual and collective human heart. So we're really excited that you're here today. If you're new, we'd love to know that too. Put your name in the chat and say that I'm new so that we can welcome you into this wonderful global community of the Coherence Pulse. We have a really special pulse today. As you can see, we have Dr. Rollin McCraty from HeartMath, and we have Theo Grace, our musical guest. And these are 2 of our really favorite guys that come on the Global Coherence Pulse. And in addition to their presence, our focus, our Heart Center's focus, is going to be sent out to the trees today. So I know a lot of you came because I said, if you love trees, you're going to love this pulse. And yes, they're my greatest teachers and companions, and we have so much, gratitude to offer and love to offer in partnership with them. So during the event, if you hear something that you like, you love, you resonate with, we like putting like 111 in the chat. And that's a really fun way for us to not be too distracted by typing things in the chat, but saying that wow, I really resonate with that, or I really love that, or that really struck me. And we start to see this wave happen, which is really fun. We start to still feel the response of each other, but not having to go into a lot of words. If you have the Global Coherence app, it's a good time to turn it on and join the global group. You know, where our pulses are being tracked by the global sensors. And when we have an event where we actually have some impact, you know, we get to hear about that. And yeah, so during the meditation with that Rollin's going to do today with the trees, make sure we have it ready, turned on to the global group, and we'll see what our energy is like today. If you have the sensor, you could just have this on the whole time, but during the meditation, if you're going to use the camera sensor, it might be nice just to do it during that particular framework. And before I bring Theo on, I thought that we could all just take a minute, feel the bottom of our feet, and think about a favorite tree or a tree grove that we have around us that we just love, that we just think about when we think about trees. And let's just include them in our awareness and in our hearts today, so that we're blessing the trees all around the world. We'll just bring them here with us, all of the tree spirits. Yeah, I can feel it. I have a big tree in my yard, and she's actually hooked up to the Global Tree Sensor Project, and her name is Grace. So I'm bringing her in today. So I'm going to start with inviting Theo Grace to join us, singer-songwriter, music producer, totally beloved friend and soul family. And he's one of our house musicians. We love Theo so much that we just keep bringing him back, because the music that he writes and the stories that he tells comes from his own authentic journey of waking up together in community, and just really the potential that we have when we join our hearts together. So it's just the right fit, Theo, that we love having you here. We always love the combination of you and Rollin McCraty together. It's like a match made in heaven. So Theo, if you can just bring us into a little musical centering. Music, I think, is one of the best ways for us to drop into our hearts.
Well, I love being here every time. It's so fun and so nourishing, and I always leave feeling more centered and more in my heart. And I'm so grateful for the heart breath and just the science that backs up what we know, and it encourages us to really do the practices. So I love that. And I also love that we're focusing on trees today. It reminded me of this song that was inspired by the beauty of nature and just how the forest and the experience of just going into the forest and nature, that it's this beautiful mess. It's just a mess everywhere. There's dirt and stuff on the ground, and no one's cleaning it up, and it's just beautiful. The moss is hanging. If you've ever been to the Pacific Northwest, you'll see the moss hanging from the trees. And anyways, it inspired this song that's called Evermore Beautiful. So feel free to just take a few deep breaths into your heart. Calling on the medicine of the forest, living in the only moment there is, flowing like an ocean, green and golden, like a lotus from the mud. She gives everything everyone needs to be free. Yes, she gives everything everyone needs to be free, so we can be all we can be, all we can be, all we can be, so we can be all we can be, all we can be, all we can be. Oh, ever more beautiful. Yeah, ever more beautiful. Yeah, I gotta get out of my mind, into the moment, into the music. I gotta get out of my mind, into the moment, into the movement, where I find the flow is ever present, never ending, living intelligence. We are the evidence. Yes, I find the flow is ever present, never ending, living intelligence. We are the evidence, and the flow wants to feed us, wants to heal us, wants us to be free in the feeling. The flow wants to feed us, wants to heal us, wants us to be free. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Oh, breathe in the sunshine. Oh, fill up with the one life. Bring on the impossible, living through the struggle to find it's ever more beautiful. Ever more beautiful. Yeah. Ever more beautiful. Just think of your favorite tree, think of your favorite place in nature, and think of the way that place touches you and makes you feel. Just the immaculate beauty and the healing, rejuvenating force of that place, and let it fill you up now, wherever you are. Just breathe in that fresh, pristine life, and know that it's ever more beautiful.
I love that. That was so good. I'm so glad that you brought in kind of like a little bouncy thing this morning. I could just like felt so good. Like my whole heart just was just like so happy, right? That's a great way to center into coherence, is to
Yeah.
actually feel our feet on the ground and joy in our hearts. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I'm going to bring Rollin in with the three of us here. I'm going to add the spotlight. We have Rollin McCraty with us, one of our favorites on. We always get him every November before the end of the year. Rollin's the director of research for HeartMath Institute, and the team of HeartMath has done more to bring the science of coherence and the power of the human heart into the world. And finally, it seems like people are like really saying, I get it. So we're super happy to have you here, Rollin. And it was Rollin's birthday 2 days ago. So I thought that we could have a little birthday celebration, and I'm going to go on gallery view. And if you know how to use those fun little things down at the bottom, those reactions like hearts and other things, while we're singing happy birthday, we can all send him some good cheer. So Rollin, we love you so much. And you're gonna have to blow out this candle. So get ready, okay? So we're gonna go on gallery view. Here we go. Theo's gonna sing a little happy birthday song. We can all join, and let's do our little fun party hats and things.
Just
Here we
imagine
go.
a whole room of people singing to you through the hearts. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, Rollin McCraty. Happy birthday to you.
We love you.
Oh,
Okay,
he
wait,
blew
we
it out.
gotta wait. We gotta get back to the speaker view. Okay, now ready. 1, 2, 3, blow. I thought I'd be able to trick him, but not. So I'll save this for you. It's really good. It's like
All
a
right.
gingerbread thing. So Roland, thank you. Welcome. So happy to celebrate your birthday with you, and also to just learn about the wonderful tree research that you guys have been doing, and to spend this time together really talking about coherence and our beautiful friends, the trees.
Well, thank you, Teresa. I was not expecting that, but thank you. And I think we really have to, all of us, appreciate you, Teresa. I mean, 5 years, a little over 5 years now. That's awesome. And certainly, if it wasn't for you, your energy, your care, your love, the pulse would not be what it is today. So
Oh,
thank you
Roland.
for
Love you.
what you're doing. And all right, so I guess I'm going to talk about global interconnectivity and especially trees today. So let me go ahead and I'm going to share some slides. Just some of this will be a reminder for those of you that have been following this for a while, but for a lot of new people, it may not be. So I figured we would share this. Let me kind of do a couple clicks here. All right. So, in honor of the Global Coherence Pulse, I had to title this "The Pulse of Love," to keep with the theme, and we're going to focus mostly on trees today and some very recent experiments that we've done. But just for those of you that aren't familiar with the Global Coherence Initiative, which I think we started in 2008, if I remember right. And this is an initiative really to bring rigorous science to the connectivity we all have with each other and with the earth itself and the rhythms of the earth, and how that when we all come together like we're doing today in heart-focused love and intention, that we really can pulse the global field and help facilitate the shift that I certainly believe is occurring right now as we're all here and part of this uplifting of human consciousness, the baseline of human consciousness. And for sure, it's probably more unstable and discordant than I certainly remember it in my lifetime. And right now, our care matters, our love matters, and to help facilitate the unfolding of a new level of cooperation and peace on Earth. So we have a number of tools in our toolbox. I'm only going to talk about two of them today, just one of them a little bit, and we'll talk about the trees. So the first set of tools in our research toolbox is the Global Coherence Monitoring System, which is a global network of ultra-sensitive magnetometers that are measuring quite literally the resonant frequencies that are always occurring in the magnetic fields of the Earth. And we have these all around the Earth. So it's as far as I know, the only system like this that exists, calibrated, time synchronized system that's measuring all the resonances. The global second, this is our latest addition of a research tool. And this is, I'll save talking about this because I'm going to show a few more slides on it, but it's the Global Consciousness Project 2.0. Our main kind of focus is the Global Tree Monitoring Project today, so I'll talk a bit more about that later. The Global Coherence app, which was developed as part of the Global Coherence Initiative. And I'm sure most of you here are familiar with it. And Teresa, you do an awesome job of really facilitating or asking people to use the app, because it allows us to not only measure our own personal level of coherence and heart coherence, but collectively. What are we adding to the global field? And that's really helpful in research. And then, of course, you, right? Community, connection. Those of us that are, I think, waking up a little more to understand how what we feed the field really does matter in very measurable ways, how we are interacting with and affecting the physical world, let alone each other. So just a quick review, if you're not familiar with the Global Consciousness Project 2.0, this is, a lot of you probably heard of GCP, or what we now call, kind of lovingly referred to as GCP-1, Global Consciousness Project 1.0, which was started by Roger Nilsson back at Princeton 30 years ago. And Roger came to me a few years ago and said, "Roland, please take this over. I'm really retiring this time." And after resisting it for a couple of years, I finally did. So the Global Consciousness Project 1 and 2 are a global network of devices called random number generators. And what they do is they make, well, think of them as electronic coin flippers. Instead of heads or tails, make ones or zeros. You know, it's actually pretty complex to make truly random numbers. And we use a just very brief little science here. The way we do that is we try and force an electron through a barrier it doesn't want to go through. Sometimes they tunnel through us. It's called quantum tunneling, and they come out the other side, and we count them. How many electrons made it through? So that is a truly quantum level, random, unpredictable process. So that's how we make these strings of ones and zeros. Now, I won't go into all the history here, but when you think of you, okay, so I'm going to use an analogy here. So think of lots of random number generators, and now we're going to pretend they're rubber ducks floating on the water, right? So you got a sea of rubber ducks. And usually it's choppy seas, right? And the ducks are just bouncing all around. That's normal random behavior, what we expect to see, because these devices are made to do that. But sometimes they stop behaving that way. And it's not that they quit being random in their outputs in the overall, but somehow they become interconnected and they start behaving together. So imagine the tide, you got all the ducks floating out here in the water, and the tide's coming in. So all the ducks are rising and lowering at the same time. They shouldn't do that, but they do. They do that in response to when enough people's attention and especially emotions are synchronized. This could be a big tragedy, or it could be a global coherence pulse, right? Or large meditations, or things that bring us together. So the ducks start going up and down together. So something is interconnecting them. There's some field, I believe, that is connecting these devices. And sometimes you might have a little faster wave coming through than the tide. So half the ducks are going up and half are going down at the same time. They're still highly coordinated and coherent in their behavior. So that's kind of what we're measuring at a global scale. So think of the ducks, the random number generators, as a globally distributed scientific instrument that's plugged into the global field of consciousness that we're all inputting and affecting in different ways. And when we pulse enough love into the field, it creates these waves that we can see. And I say love because this is data from GCP1, and in fact, this is the very analysis that Dr. Nielsen did that finally motivated us to take this project on, which has been a huge undertaking to create a new version. But looking across many hundreds of events, he analyzed them from their level of love and compassion. Are we, events that evoke love and compassion, big, large meditations for peace, things like that. So that's we're in the high category. The medium category, these are events that evoke a lot of emotion, but not necessarily much love and compassion. Super Bowls, World Cups, big sporting events, millions of people paying attention and feeling stuff, but not, necessarily these higher frequency emotions. And then low would be the response to our synchronized effect after a terrorist attack, largely publicized school shootings, this kind of thing, earthquakes, and so on. Well,
Hey, Roland.
Yes.
Hey, Roland, before you go, a couple of people have asked for the slides to be a little bigger. They might be on small screens or something.
Okay.
You may want to see if
Let's
you
go
can
back to
just
the normal
go.
mode. Let me
Yeah, I think let's
share.
go to the normal mode. Okay.
All right.
Yeah, thanks for taking that quick thing.
No
For
problem.
anybody that was asking, we're happy to make it work.
Yeah. All right. There we go.
Perfect. Thanks, Roland.
Okay. So what you see here is that the events that evoke love and compassion have a significantly greater impact on creating this collective behavior or coherence within this global network. So in other words, when we radiate love and compassion into the global field, it has a bigger impact. We're creating bigger, more coherent waves that these devices are picking up. Now, Dr. Nielsen did find in his 30 years of research, the statistics, by the way, on GCP1 are 3 trillion to 1 odds against chance that this is measuring a real effect. I mean, it's out of hand statistics. But he was able to show that the larger the media event that got people together feeling something at the same time was related to the effect size, how, the coherence. In GCP2, we have a new hypothesis. And we built the network to be able to test that and a number of new scientific hypotheses. And that hypothesis is that it's not just about the number of people. It's about how coherent are we? Do we have a shared intention? Is that what we're adding to the field? Is it one of the higher vibrational frequencies like love, compassion, kindness? That, in other words, can a very small group, relative compared to the masses, also create these large effects in the global field? Can we pulse the field in a way that is right, that the signal rises above all the noise of all the people on the planet to where we can see it? And this is one of the first tests of that hypothesis. And there's a little bit of a story here because this is some of you might have seen the film. Let's see, is this one? Yeah, the One Field. And so they were working with, kind of like the Pulse is here, working with their community. And so we did six, kind of like the Pulse does, for 6 months in a row. We led a meditation, and they were encouraged to use the Global Coherence app to really get coherent. Am I really in a coherent state? Okay, about 2,000 people. And so we practiced for 6 months, once a month for 6 months, most of them using the app with the intention, and the meditation was about adding love to the global consciousness field with the intention to raise the baseline level of human consciousness. Okay. On the seventh month, we did the experiment, and that's what you're seeing here. So you see on the right side, the red line, that's what's called network coherence. In other words, are the ducks moving up and down together? Okay. And as a metaphor for RNGs, right after the meditation begins, we see globally the RNGs, or our ducks, in our metaphor, start to behave together and go up. The red line climbs up. That the more that these devices are not behaving randomly anymore, they're coordinated, they're synchronized, they're connected. And the blue line just is a statistical envelope that if it crosses that, it means that this happened above what can happen by random chance. So a really neat, high, powerful effect. They don't always look like this, but more and more they do.
It's awesome.
Do you want to comment, Teresa?
No, it's so awesome to see this and to remember actually when that was happening. And yeah.
Yeah, so we've done this. I'm not going to go through a bunch of them and show you, but this is happening more and more. And then we just submitted a research paper a couple of weeks ago to a scientific journal. And we started doing a project with Dr. Joe Dispenza. A lot of you probably know him. He does these large meditation events, bringing new people into the fold. They're kind of, a lot of them, their first experience of learning meditation and so on. And he does these over these week-long retreats, as he calls them. And within those, he does what are called coherence healings. I won't go into a lot of detail here, but that's kind of the high point of the events where people are really synchronized on really creating healing energy. And we created a stack, or what we call a tower, of these devices. Can you see that in the photo in the upper left-hand corner? Hope you can see that. It's a stack of these devices that he keeps on the stage. And he did that for the entire year last year, and he's doing it again this year as well, to see if we could see a local effect, in the room, because there's usually 1,500 to 2,500 people attending these events. And we do more times than not during these coherence healings. Yes, we do see effect in the local field. That would be the graph on the left side of the graph where it says RNG tower. And that's ends up being 40 independent RNGs. So there's 4 on each one. But we started noticing that, well, the global network was also mirroring what was happening at these events during these coherence healings. Well, that's kind of neat, but then it kept happening, right? So we looked across the entire year and did a formal analysis, and sure enough, there was a significant correlation between what was happening during these high, points of a lot of love, heart coherence is all about coherence, and love really during these coherence healings. So this is providing, I can't say we've proven anything yet, but it's pretty compelling evidence that a relatively small group, 1,500, 2,000 people, we're seeing this again and again, is rippling out through the entire planet, planetary consciousness. Now, one of our hypothesis is that we're all connected through the fields of consciousness. Not just us, but all living systems, trees, plants, animals, right? Really all of nature's living systems. So that's why we started the Global Tree Monitoring Project, where we're measuring the electrical potential of trees. Now, trees make great research participants. They stay put and they don't mind if we put a couple electrodes in. So what we're measuring is the electrical voltage of trees. And here's what this looks like over a few months. Here we're looking at a redwood tree, that's the red graph, and an oak tree here on our property in the Santa Cruz Mountains. And you see these, this is what's called the circadian rhythm, a 24-hour rhythm, just like we have, trees have them. But as it turns out, they have very rich and dynamic electrical lives. And I just want to point out one thing here. This is measured in what's called millivolts. And that is a really high voltage, higher than one would expect from a tree. It's the same level of voltage you measure from a human when we're measuring the heartbeat, the electrocardiogram, which is the highest voltage produced in the body. As yet, no one can really explain how trees do this, how they create these high voltages. There's different theories, but when you look a little bit deeper underneath the theories, they all fall apart so far. So there's something a little bit magical in a way, I guess we'll say for now, about trees, how they create these kind of voltages. So this is kind of what you tend to see trees, and they're very responsive to a lot of different things. All right, now we happen to have 4 trees that are part of this global network. We have trees all around the world now that are being monitored. But actually, on the other side of the building I'm in right now, we have 4 maple trees that were planted, I don't know, somewhere around 30 years ago. So they've grown up to be mature trees. And they're all in a row, all the same species, right? Boom, 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 4 trees. And they're all connected to this global network. So last year we did an experiment with what you're seeing the results of here, where about 8 people would take some chairs out, from the people that work here and stuff, and just sit down in front of one of the 4 trees for 10 minutes each day over a 6-day period and get into a heart coherent state and just radiate love to one of the 4 trees. Well, you can probably guess that's the black one on the bottom where that happened. But this is a neat thing because the other 3 trees are acting as controls because it's exactly the same environment. They're in the same ground, same air temperature, humidity, everything else is identical. And we saw an almost, I mean, I about fell over when I saw this magnitude of response from the trees. Right after the first day, boom, you see this huge increase in voltage. Now, as it turns out, a sign of a healthy or a happy tree is an increase in the amplitude of this circadian rhythm, and the stability of it. Both of those things are clearly improved in this case. I mean, it's a huge response. Did you want to say something, Trish?
No, it's just amazing. I'm so glad that you're getting this kind of research to share back to us so that we can actually know really our love and care has an impact.
Yeah. Yeah, so this is local, right? There, you're sitting there, you see the tree, you're in front of it, sending the love to it. Well, this just a few weeks ago, we decided to do another version of this, which was non-local. So in this case, what we did is we had a camera, so it was a live image on the tree, and just like we're doing today on Zoom. So we invited people from around the world who are either signed up on on the Tree Rhythms website or the Global Consciousness Project websites that are interested in consciousness research and wanting to participate in these kind of studies. So we sent a message to them inviting them to participate. And it ended up, we did this for 4 days. We sent, I was amazed. We had about 300 people show up every day. I think you were part of that, Teresa, if I remember right. You were one of our, to send love to a tree remotely or non-locally. So all they were seeing was the image on the tree on the screen to be able to connect with it and kind of focus their love. And we, again, encourage people to use the Global Coherence app so we can measure how, in a way you could say how much love energy was being sent out, how many people were involved in the level of coherence of the group. And a lot did, most did. Again, an amazing response from the tree. And even more so because even after the experiment was over, we still see the voltages increasing and stabilizing over time. And I was amazed. We had people from countries I'd never even heard of before. I shouldn't admit that, but it's true. Um, Getting up in the middle of the night, people in Australia and New Zealand and Asia to do this. So this is really, I think this should be really an important message for the pulse community. Is it's showing that the love we are pulsing into the world, into the field, it really does matter, and it matters in measurable ways. And that when we intend for our love, we can actually focus it in a very specific way. I mean, these are four trees next to each other. We were able to focus it in on just the one tree in this case. So pretty cool, I think, to be able to see. I mean, I always believe this to be true, but it's really neat when experiments like this work so well.
Did
And
the trees not getting love? I mean, I see it's dropping down. So,
well, the red one did.
uh-huh.
The first didn't. And I jokingly say, and this is in humor, that it was jealous that it wasn't getting the love.
Somebody just wrote that. Eve says was red jealous. Okay.
Probably not, but because the trees can do this, and this was done in the fall here, so seasons are changing and things like that. So trees actually will make these big shifts like this in major seasonal changes. And I've learned from some of our other collaborators that it's the trees, the consciousness of the tree as a whole, making a decision to shift states, from growth and all that to a more dormant, renewal state when they just kind of shift. So that may be that's probably a more likely thing that the red tree decided to do there. So the point of all this, what we feed the field matters, right? So really encourage us to all, become more aware and responsible for what we're feeding the field on a day-to-day basis. Because we're not just plugged into this global field when we come together for a global coherence pulse or an experiment like this. We're always plugged into it 24/7. And what we're feeding the field matters. So become more aware. And if you find yourself, in one of those lower vibrations, impatience, frustration, anxiety, fear, shift, right? Do some hard focused breathing. Breathe a different feeling. Breathe a feeling of patience. Breathe a feeling of compassion or kindness, because that really can shift the what we're radiating into the field. And as we do that, especially as we do it collectively like this, it can really help love go viral, which is what I think the world needs more than ever right now. We need to open our hearts and connect and co-create a more peaceful world and basically learn to get along with each other. So that's the main thing I wanted to share in terms of the new results today. And so I'm going to stop sharing.
It's so inspiring to be able to see it. I know I've seen some comments in the chat, and we are going to have a little Q&A time with Rollin after our meditation. So if you can stay on in the second half of this, you'll get a little time to ask some questions. But once we know, Rollin, that our energy has an impact, that our coherent presence, that our love, our compassion and our care has an impact, it kind of really calls us to task to do exactly what you said. Like if I catch myself forgetting for a moment that we're all connected and I act in a way that's putting something into the field that I don't want, then I have a choice. And the quicker that I can make that choice and shift to feel the bottom of my feet and breathe and put just a moment of heart-centered breathing, heart-centered focus, it makes a huge difference. And that's our mandate right now. Yeah. Feed the field matters. So do you want to do a little meditation for us today?
Would be happy to. And Teresa asked that we do a meditation similar to what we did for the experiment when the people from around the world were sending love to the trees. So
Yeah,
that's what we'll do.
All right. And we will have Kaylin bring up a beautiful tree that we could kind of like focus our attention on, but you can think about a tree in your own community, whatever Rollin you invite.
Yeah. Yeah, and if you do have the Global Coherence app and are familiar with it, feel free
Hold
to
on.
get it out and hook it up and use it today for this. I'll get mine.
I'm going to get mine too.
Practice what I preach here. Let me get mine on and spoken well here.
Yeah, there we go.
As we practice coherence together, it really does. Another study maybe we'll talk about that next time, that shows how we can energetically connect and become more synchronized in a measurable way when we are practicing coherence together.
All right.
All right. So just realize that today we're coming together from all around the world. And today we're going to focus our love and our heart-centered energy on trees, on all trees located around the world. If you happen to be near a tree or have one out your window that you can focus on, feel free to just tune into that tree and connect with it. Or if you have a favorite tree, you can just imagine connecting with that tree. And let's begin by focusing your attention in the area of your heart. Imagine your breath is flowing in and out through your heart or chest area. Breathe in a little slower and deeper than usual. Find a rhythm that's comfortable. Steady, easy rhythm. And as you breathe through your heart, feel yourself connecting with the trees and the global community that's here today joining together. And throughout this meditation, try and stay with this heart-centered breath, letting your focus settle in your heart. And let's start by just breathing a feeling of inner stillness. Just breathe that feeling of calm, inner calm and stillness, quieting the mind and emotions. And from that deeper state of stillness, with each of our heart-centered breaths, feel the love and appreciation you have for the trees and their connection to the natural world. Recall the sense of peace and calmness of being beneath a tree's canopy or in a forest, and let those feelings grow warmly in your heart. Now imagine these feelings of love radiating outwards from your heart directly toward the tree you have chosen, or just all the trees on the planet. See this energy as a soft, coherent light, gently surrounding the trees, supporting their life force. And with every breath, feel your care amplifying and joining the collective heart energy of everyone who's present here today. We'll just do this for the next 2 minutes, just radiating love outward from your heart to the trees, seeing our energies connecting together and amplifying as we do this. And knowing that trees play an important role in a global web of energy that connects and supports all life on Earth. As we send them love, let's hold the intention that the love energy we are sending helps strengthen the tree's ability to support the Earth and all of nature's systems, especially where they are stressed by climate change, human impact, natural disasters, fires, floods, so on. Well, let's do this in silence for the next couple of minutes, just radiating that love to help the trees support all life on Earth. Now feel your heart linking with others all around the world. Sense the coherent heart energy flowing through all of us, uniting cultures, people, and places in love and care for all the trees and the planet it supports. Now, just gently bring your attention back to your own heart and know that together our love and coherence supports the well-being of all trees and through it all life on Earth. And let's envision humanity and our planet as you would want them to be, experiencing genuine peace and heart-based connections. See humanity recognizing that our love really does affect all of nature, helping us thrive together in harmony. And when you're ready, just come back to the room and thank you for your love and attention
Mm,
and your care.
mm. That was so good, Rollin. Thank you so much. Thank you, everybody. I could really feel our love just wrapping around the planet and sending to all the trees. Let's just stay in this state. I'm going to bring Theo on, and he can just give us a little music just to keep us here in our hearts and sending love to anywhere on the planet that needs it most.
Sending out our love to our friends all over this world, growing up from the ground and dropping leaves all around. Yeah, we need you. We thank you. Giving us shade, giving us fruit. We need you. Your reflections of us. We breathe the same air. We breathe in what you breathe out. Breathing in what you breathe out. We're so grateful for you, for all of you. We're so grateful for you, for everyone. I'm going out on a limb. Doing a little improvisational verse for the trees, 'cause it felt right. Like the birds and the bees that have their lives in those trees. If we can't cut them all down, even if we tried, I don't think we could. We sure are giving it a good go. So we gotta plant more trees. So just see all these helping, healthy hands in the younger generations, planting more trees for the future generations, for the current generations, and appreciating the forest, appreciating just the beauty of a beautiful tree. It's just unmistakable. And just feel that gratitude in your heart, and you can sing it with me, or you can just take it in. Just sing. We're so grateful for you, for all you. We're so grateful for you, for all of you. Thank you for the sunshine. Thank you for your fruits. Thank you for your shade. Thank you for you. We need you now to breathe. We need you now to live this life. So thank you. Yeah. Thanks, trees. Thanks, Rollin, for that. Thanks for tuning us into just how powerful and how much we need them and how connected we are.
Thank you for doing that improv. That was just absolutely perfect for us just to stay in there. Like everybody's really so excited. We have time for a Q&A, Rollin, which is so wonderful because oftentimes we don't, and I appreciate that you left some time for that. And so for those of you that can stay on, we're going to spend a little time doing a Q&A. We're going to have some announcements because there's some wonderful things coming up, and then we'll have one more song from Theo before we go. So if you want to ask Rollin a question, if you would raise your hand, use the little raise your hand tool there. And there we go. Somebody right away. So I'm going to add you to the spotlight and let's keep our questions not too long so that we have time for everybody. So you can go ahead and unmute. Chimoy Gong.
Blessings, everyone. I'm very grateful to find you and join you right away. So I've been doing lots of great work, and now I live in Sweden. I'm from China. Now I live in Sweden, and it's cold in winter, and I love to ground. I love to go bare feet on Mother Earth's belly, but sometimes it's too cold. So I wonder if when people put hands on a tree and to have the intention to connect with the tree, can we also ground through the tree?
Yes. Yeah, absolutely you can. I mean, trees are way plugged into the ground. They're a great grounding source. So yes.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I totally agree. They're one of my greatest teachers. And anytime I find myself in my head, like I'm thinking too much or I'm ahead of myself, all I do is feel the bottom of my feet. And immediately I feel that grounding and I'm not in my head anymore. And now I can connect with my belly and my heart and I can be more open to a more full experience. So thank you,
Thank
Chimoy.
you.
Yeah, let's bring in Paul. Hey, Paul.
Unmuted, I think. Am
Yeah.
I unmuted?
You
Yep,
are.
you
Okay.
sure are.
Yeah. I don't usually read novels because I tend to read too late into the night. But I don't remember where I got the title from, but I ordered Visioneers, and the novel is so following on not exactly, but really close to what we're doing here with the Coherence Pulse. And it's a good read. It's got an excellent uh, motive to it, and it's fun and exciting and full of characters. Thank you.
Thanks, Paul. Anybody have a question for Rollin? Here we go. John, we got the men today. Usually we have like the women kind of jump in, but today we got the men. So let me invite you to unmute there. Why isn't it letting me do that? John, I'm just gonna ask you to unmute. There you go. You should be able to do it now.
All right. I happen to live on a piece of real estate up here in Washington, where we've got a couple of hundred trees. And I've done meditations down in the trees. And I've wondered if there's, how receptive it is if you're going to, connect with them. Can you connect with a crowd of trees? A forest of them.
Mm-hmm.
I certainly don't see why not. Another experiment we haven't finished the data analysis yet. We did the I showed you the data on the non-local. We actually did that twice, and both times it worked. We're working on getting a graph together. But then the last experiment we did is we had people just send love to their favorite tree. And then in that study, we're going to be looking at all the trees we're monitoring all around the world to see if we kind of a signal averaging approach, it's a scientific term, to see if we can see that all trees globally responded to that love and energy being sent out, and rather than just a single tree like the first two experiments. But I see absolutely no reason why you can't send love, positive energy to all the trees.
And these trees are all the same. They're noble firs.
Mm-hmm.
And I noticed that there's a difference, when you looked at the maple or, the different trees,
Yeah.
they had different responses.
That's right. Yeah.
It'll be kind of interesting to see how a crowd of them that are all the same respond.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'll just make a little comment here that a couple of interesting things. One is we openly share this kind of data. It's open access, and a dissertation was just published, a pretty high level analysis of the trees here in the Bay Area. That he was able to show that they're together responding in a measurable way to solar and geomagnetic activity and what are called earth tide rhythms. The surface of the earth is pulled up every day about a foot, believe it or not, and that's called earth tides. And the trees are responding in a kind of collective way to that rhythm as well. And then another colleague of ours, his son actually, using a single tree in the Bay Area that they're monitoring, has a 90-some, I forget the exact percentage he told me, but 90-some% accuracy in predicting future earthquakes in the Bay Area of a 2.0 magnitude or greater by looking at the changes in the electrical potentials of the trees. It's another one of our hypotheses I didn't go into today. So some really cool stuff also emerging from this work.
Thanks, Rollin.
Yeah.
All right, we've got Pete and then Annie. There you go. Hi, Pete. Can you unmute? There you go. No?
There we go. I'm muted. Yeah,
All
just on to what he said. I actually do some workshops where I teach people to be the forest rather than when you walk through the forest, where you can actually become the forest and observe the human rather than being the human observing the forest. And I grew up in the woods, spent my youth being cradled in the arms of trees, so I have this really strong connection. And yeah, when we send love to the trees, it's actually a reciprocal thing. When I spend time, when the trees can feel that love. So when you do this practice of being the forest, and you can feel this reciprocal relationship with the love. You can feel the love from and I feel the love coming back from the trees when I'm the human giving the love to the trees. There's this flow back and forth. So anyway, thank you so much, Rollin, for doing this work and validating, this feeling that I've had my whole life of have this intimate relationship energetically with trees that's now being scientifically validated. So just bless you so much and everybody who's taking part with this thing, because the more people who come together with their hearts like this, we increase the amplitude of the resonance. And
that's right.
Is our hearts coming together, it's going to raise the vibration of the planet, and eventually humanity will realize, hey, we can have love and connection, building a better world together rather than fighting over all these petty differences. And so there's going to be a tip, I believe, where humanity will awaken because in part of the work that's going on right here. So just bless you and everyone here. Thank you.
Thank you, Pete. Appreciate it.
Yeah, and I couldn't agree with you more. I also grew up in the forests and trees as a kid too, and well, both Teresa and I, and probably many others here, are currently live in the redwoods. You can't walk amongst these trees and not feel something. You know, their biofield is a powerful energetic that certainly helps lift us. You know.
Yeah, for sure. Always look out my window and I feel like they're waving at me all the time, you know. Annie, you had your hand raised. Thanks for being here today.
Oh, thank you. Thank you for everything you do, all of you. It's just so wonderful. I live here in a national park in Canada. I'm surrounded by hectares of wild forest. And as a part of fire abatement, we are cutting down lots and lots and lots of trees around towns to make sure that the towns are safe. And so we've got some spaces that are already forests, big forests disappeared and more to come. And so I'm just wondering if you have any suggestions as to number one, maybe working with the forest that has already been cut down, and number two, the part of the forest that is going to be cut down soon. Is there some suggestion you might have?
Well, not really. I guess just send them love, you know, and appreciate what
Yeah.
they do. I mean, it's always this balance, right? And you know, we don't tend to cut a lot of trees down here, but we do. I mean, we're in the Santa Cruz Mountains and a very high fire danger, so I get it, right?
Yeah.
But we do, you know, like trim the bottom leaves. We're doing a lot of management on our own property, but it's not necessarily
Yep.
cutting down big trees. It's trimming up the lower branches so that a grass fire can't catch them on fire and things like that. So, I think there's always balance in everything we do. So,
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah. I would definitely be sending love to them and just let them know that we appreciate it, what they did for the community and the town and all of that. And also that they're sacrificed to make sure that we can stay safe and that they get used in a good way. Like whatever is next for this tree, that it gets used in a way that's like life affirming, building houses for good people. Like we can really intend some of those things. And when fires run through places, they say that it actually helps the forest to like regenerate. And so I just kind of, feel that as long as there's good energy participating, I think it's much better. And thank
Thank you.
you
That's
for
helpful.
caring about them. Yeah. All right. We got a few more. I'm excited to see you here, Michael Linfield. We'll have him in a minute. Asked to unmute. Sherry, we have you here spotlighted. Yeah, or Shari. Yeah. Oops, you just muted again. There you go.
Hi, thank you so much. I love this. I really do. It's like, this sings to my heart. So I hope you don't mind because it's a little off topic, but because you're with HeartMath, I was so intrigued by the graph you showed with the 4-day, thing of giving the 10 minutes of love a day to a tree. Through HeartMath, has there been any studies like that where humans do it on humans to see if,
oh yeah, yes, yes,
like, in comparison to
yeah.
a
I
tree,
think
I'm
those
sure it's not
circle
as
of
easy.
eights, those ones we even did it at the HeartMath retreat where we went into like a circle and then we focused on one person at a time and sent that healing energy. That's one of those really simple ways to do it too.
Sure.
Yeah.
Okay.
Beautiful.
Thank
Thank
you.
you, Shari. Appreciate it. All right, we got Mark. Let's add a spotlight. Here we go. Mark, invite you to unmute. There you go. You're all set.
Okay, just try to get this. Oh, there we go. Hi. Thanks for such a great presentation and research there, Rollin. I come from a background of fire management and particularly landscape scale.
Mhm.
And I really appreciated the comment from our Canadian fellow Fire is such an integral part of the whole ecosystem. And so to get clear about the value that fire brings, and that it is both a healing as well as a growing generative component. So I had a little comment in the chat, but the point being that the attitude that comes to the work that's being done, not being grounded in fear, like fear of destruction from wildfire, but more in terms of the healing part that can be brought forward, and how do you integrate that into. So there's just a huge consciousness shift growing about that, and some of this is tied to my native background, but I'm just excited to see how your research advocates for that, and to bring this up to a broader scale, a global scale even, I think is the heart throb of what you're talking about. Every little bit we do locally has a significant impact.
Mhm.
Thank you.
Yeah, you're welcome. Thank you. Thank you for your comments.
Thank you, Mark. All right, and let's see one more. We'll take one more. Michael Linfield, lovely to have you on with us, Michael. There you go.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you, Roland. Wow. Back in 1971, 72, I was doing organic farming in the west of Sweden. And one of the experiments I did was to take a potato patch, divide it in two, and give love to half of it. Stroke the leaves, just give them a lot of attention, and neglected the other half, which was hard to do because I love the plant. But it was an experiment. And we noticed a difference. We didn't have any technology to measure it. But what we saw is that the half that had been loved and stroked and magnetically touched, actually the leaves were a darker green. It was as though the nitrates had been, the nitrogen had been fixed more in the plant. It was healthier, and then that led me, because I had some deep inner experiences connected with that, led me to go to Findhorn community. And so I was privileged to be part of that experiment between this triangle of humans, the natural intelligence of nature, and the angelic or the David forces. And so when you're talking about the trees, when I relate to a tree, I don't just relate to the tree, the elemental being, I relate to that angelic presence that is the overlighting soul of it, that holds the qualitative imprint at the deep level. And what we see as a tree is the outworking and the expression of this incredible beauty of the one life that shines through the nature kingdom. And so for me, it's working with, if you like, the natural intelligences, whether it's when you're working in the forest, you're working with the sylphs, you're working with the gnomes, you're working with the intelligence that is the actual tree itself, its energetic force. But then, like us having an equivalent soul, there's an overlighting presence that holds the pattern for that species. And Dorothy McLean, in her books on Findhorn and talking with the plants, received a lot of messages from the trees, and the importance of the relationship with trees, and that they're the skin of the earth, etc., etc. We know that. But I just wanted to say thank you, because what we're realizing is that everything is interconnected. Everything we think and do affects everything else. And then you suddenly realize the scale of that. It's overwhelming to begin with. And so you start just being loving to everything around you, but you realize that you're being loving to everything by loving what's in front of you. Because we're fractals of this one field. So I just want to say thank you for all the incredible work you've done in HeartMath. And here at Meditation Mount, we're doing a lot of linking around the world and meditating with other groups and affecting the field. Because when things reach a point of precipitation at an inner level, it actually rains this love. So a rain of love. And at the moment, we've got some welcome rain outside in Southern California. But anyway, just thank you. And thank you, Teresa, for all the work you do. I'm just blessings on you.
Yeah, beautifully said. Beautifully said. And I couldn't agree more. So
thank you. I love it you said there. We're loving everything by loving what is in front of us.
Exactly.
That's really beautiful. Thank you, Michael. Yeah. We'll have to have you on a pulse soon. I miss
Can I give one line Rumi?
Yes.
Love is the bridge connecting you and everything.
Ah, beautiful.
Yeah.
Thank you. Beautiful. All right, let's do two quick ones, and then we're gonna do some announcements, and we'll have another song by Theo before we go.
Mm.
Okay, asked to mute Dorothea. Dorothena. Yeah.
Dorothea, yeah.
Dorothea. Okay, great. Thank
Yeah,
you.
I posted it in the chat. I do heart brain coherence every day, every morning, and every night when I do my meditation. And I emanate it to every cell in my body. And then can you hear me okay?
Yeah.
Okay. Um, I also emanate it to my husband and my children and my grandchildren. But I'm wondering, in this really difficult time in the United States, is there a particular way that we could use it to help with what's going on in our government right now?
Mm. 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 Mm.
Yeah, I certainly believe so, and that
What could we do?
well, it's really just simply like I think like the pulses is huge. Participating in these, if you're part of the Global Coherence app community, we every month or every full moon we send out meditations for people to come together. Then because I think Michael actually said it really well. The more love that the more, and when I talk a lot these days about what I say the spectrum of love, the frequencies of love, because we're actually able to measure that energetically now, so I can kind of legally talk about these as frequencies. But if you think of love as the spectrum, like a musical octave, it has different notes. Compassion would be one of the higher frequencies. Kindness, patience, heart vulnerability, appreciation, gratitude, forgiveness. These are all really acts of love. So whenever we're kinder to someone, extend caring, these types of things, it is loving. And that is affecting the field in a positive way. And as we do that enough of it, there is whatever the news says, there's at the same time a growing momentum of more people coming together than ever. More things like the Global Coherence Pulse happening that is starting to pulse the field and create more of a standing wave of these higher vibrations of love. And that is even though we may not be able to see it immediately, it is helping create a rise in the frequency of the global field, even though you would say global dignity is probably at an all-time low right now. As we put more of these higher vibrations, it is helping people connect with their own higher self or larger self, as we call it here. And it's part of the wake-up process. It's just something that I believe is part of the shift we have to go through. This part of, it's actually part of the shift, this discord that we're seeing, we have to go through to come out the other side.
So what should we emanate out to those?
Love,
Love?
or any of those qualities of love.
Care, compassion, love. Yeah.
Okay.
Kindness.
Somebody suggests that we surround them with white light.
Yeah.
In the chat.
Yeah, that's fine. That's fine.
Yeah, exactly.
To me, the straight line is one of those frequencies of the love spectrum.
Yeah. Yeah.
What do you mean the straight line?
Well, it's a straighter line to our larger self in the higher vibrations, love in those frequencies.
Okay.
Yeah.
Even if it's
it's good to be in community together too. So, Claire put in the chat to join the care focus every month with HeartMath, or join us in the connection field where every day we're joining together and we're pulsing the planet with love. And the more you're with others doing the same, the field is enriched, and it's so much easier to choose love in the face of what we're facing. And it's going to get challenging. So we need to be able to do that.
So even sending love to the ones you really have trouble loving.
Yes. Especially, right?
Yeah. And if that's tough, I understand it. That's okay. Just love something else, right? But just
yeah. Okay. Birch. There you go. Asking you to bitch. Yeah. Oh, there you go.
Hi, it's Victe. Thank you.
Thanks.
Blessings. I grew up rural, and I always had a really strong connection to trees. I'd climb up them just to read, or if I was struggling with something, or just to sleep, I would hang out in a tree. A little bit emotional. I had a TBI. And afterwards, when I'd go up to a tree and I'd say, "Can I touch you?" I'd hear a strong no.
Mm.
Will a tree send out a negative barrier to keep you out? Or is it something I'm doing to myself?
Mm.
Yeah, I can't really answer that one. I don't know, but I cannot imagine that trees would ever send out a negative signal. From my
Yeah.
perspective, they have a baseline of a higher frequency. It's just different than human. To me, the one word I ascribe to nature is thriving.
Yeah.
Trees and the plant kingdom have evolved to an incredible thing that we need to learn as humans, I think, and that's how to get along.
Yeah.
A lot of the new research in trees, there's the old guard and the new guard. It's actually interesting to watch all that happening and plant and tree intelligence dialogues that are going on. But we know that trees and plants support across species now. They recognize their kin. All kinds of really neat new research is showing. Fires came up. Teresa would know this as well because she lives here in the same area in the Santa Cruz Mountains. What was it? 340? I'm horrible with
Yeah,
past
I
time
know.
references.
Yeah, it's
What was
been a
called
few
one of
years.
the largest fires ever in California at that time. That took out one of our biggest redwood state parks, and it amazed me how within a year, especially 2 years, how the forests have recovered. And the thriving that's going on. It's just amazing.
Yeah.
I know this is off topic to your question, but
No,
I would say though, I really want you to hear this, that the trees really want you to hug them. They're so available for you. Whatever that signal you're getting, it's just like a little mixed message maybe from the
Yeah.
TBI, and just know that the trees are really there and they'd love to, like, for
Yeah.
you to connect and for you to find some solace and for you to get some
agree.
love back. I really, really feel that.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I would agree with that too.
okay,
Yeah.
because it was a shock, and it wasn't just one time, it was consistent. So
Yeah,
I
so I
was
think it's just a misreading of the
okay.
message, and I would say go for it. Absolutely, 100%.
All right.
Yeah,
Thank you.
yeah, we're all sending you a big love. Yeah,
Thank you.
thanks for being vulnerable and asking.
Yeah.
I really appreciate that. Yeah.
Good advice, Teresa.
Yeah. All right. Well, Luke, I'm going to let you slip in quick, but then we got to
Very
go right
quickly.
to announcements and then.
Okay. Okay. Very briefly, I'll go on a limb, far on a limb, but I follow this scientist slash mystic by the name of Dr. David Clemens, and he speaks daily with what he calls his team of galactic beings, Arcturians, Pleiadians, and their message through him was that 10 years ago they didn't think we would make it in this transition, and now they are convinced. They have seen a huge augmentation of the vibration level. And I just want to share that this kind of initiative is really, I'm sure it's played a big part in the change in helping our civilization go through. And I'm very confident. That's it.
Yeah, me too.
Me too. I know. I feel it. We're on the other side. All right. Well, thank you, Roland. Thank you so much for everything. We kept you a little longer. Claire's been putting some good links in the chat. Claire, if you would put the link in the chat again about the tree network, and also just the care focus. And then we're going to share about the upcoming retreat. Roland, we're going to get to be able to be in person with you if we want to do that. So
Yes. Awesome.
we'll share some announcements.
Take care, everyone, and I'll maybe see you next November.
All right. Thank you, Roland. Hopefully we'll see you sooner before that.
Okay.
Yeah.
Bye-bye.
Okay. All right. So we're going to go ahead and go to some announcements. Kaylin, if you'll bring those up. The first one is HeartMath is having their global their retreat in April. And there's a link right there in the chat. And they've started to do an early bird, which is $500 off of joining with them. There's also a virtual offering, but we wanted to make sure, because look at who's here, Joe Dispenza, all these wonderful presenters, that we wanted to make sure that the Global Coherence Pulse community has an opportunity in the HeartMath community to be there because it's limited. So here, let me see, somebody said that link was off, so I put it in the chat again. So hopefully you'll be able to come to that. I also want to say thank you to Theo Grace, and we have a link there if you want to stay connected to Theo and his music and be able to listen to it, or maybe hire him to do some music work for you, or anything that you can imagine. There's all kinds of links. Theo, I don't know if you want to say something about what's the best way for us to stay connected. And do you have your, I don't see your, oh, your Patreon. The second thing in there is a Patreon for and Theo, and I get all these like early bird things. You send me advance of new songs that are out, and it's my way of being able to say thank you to you. So I hope people will like maybe take a minute and send you a little love.
Yeah, thanks.
Is there like a really easy place for them to go and listen to your music?
I would just say if you have Spotify, it's on all the streaming platforms,
Yeah.
whatever one you prefer. Just look up Entheo, Entheo, and you should be able to find something.
Yeah, great.
Yeah.
All right. Well, I do highly recommend this is the end of the year. We often give gifts this time of year. And if you're feeling inspired by Theo's music, maybe you become a patron and you'll get all kinds of little treats all the time. So thanks, Theo. And then speaking about end of the year support, the Global Coherence Pulse has been going for 5 years and it's been volunteer the whole time. And we decided that it's time to go from 200, 300, 500 people on the Global Coherent Pulses and really extend our reach in the next couple of years. So we're asking if you are inspired by the Global Coherence Pulse that you could make a little year-end gift to the Global Coherence Pulse and say thank you and support us to be able to do more of these events on behalf of the whole. And I really want to thank you for coming in today. And then the last announcement that we have is there is a meditation on Monday morning. I'm going to put the date and a link to the Zoom, which you would want to just put in your calendar for 9:30 a.m. We're going to be joining 6-year-olds and up to 12-year-olds who are joining together to do a special global coherence pulse. And they are going to be pulsing energy out for the animals. So I wanted to make sure that our global coherence pulse community joins in with those kids. Look at, they've made this beautiful poster. Monday is not the 19th, somebody said. It must be the 17th. Thank you. So on Monday, the 17th, put it on your calendar for 9:30 a.m. and we can join with these kids who are, this will be the second one they're doing, Pulsing the Planet with Love. So thank you all for being here today. And we're going to close out with some music from Theo just to send us out in a good way.
Yeah.
Yeah.
This is a song I received in the forest on a medicine walk with some brothers years ago. And it just reminds me of the trees there. And it's actually one of the main lines in it is just love a little more. And it's from this movie, if you've seen it, called Life Itself. It's a really powerful moment in the movie. And the woman says, like, you know, when life brings you to your knees, just love a little more. And sometimes love is this mystery, at least for me, you know, like, what does that mean? Like, what does it mean to love in this moment? What does it mean to love in this relationship? And sometimes love is letting it go. Sometimes love is letting it be. Often I've actually found that love is letting things be as they are, loving ourselves as we are, and just noticing what's coming up and giving that thing in us like a little bit of love, like what Big was saying about, you know, that experience of wanting to love this tree and then having this sort of internal experience of a no coming up, and like, what, what's there, like there's something there in us often that needs love. If we're not able to like give or receive it, to open that flow back up, often is like letting that feeling be, that pain, whatever it is. So this is a little song for us to just continue feeling into our hearts, and opening them and giving that love and receiving that love, especially from our friends, the trees. And hope you'll go out today and connect with a tree and connect with the earth after this. Open my heart, open my heart, and light the way deep in the dark. Open my heart, open my heart, open my heart, deep in the dark. And when I can't go on, and life brings me to my knees, oh, when the walls get too heavy to hold, will you remind me to love a little more? Love a little more. Oh, love a little more. Love a little more. Oh, open my heart. Open my heart and melt away the hardest part. And when I can't go on, and life brings me to my knees, oh, when the walls get too heavy to hold, will you remind me to love a little more? Oh, love a little more. Oh, love a little more. Love a little more. Oh, go hug a tree today. Thanks, everyone. It's been a
Let's go hug a tree
blissful.
today. Yay. Thank you so much, Theo, for everything. Let's go on gallery view. Thank you all for joining today. I'm going to allow you to unmute so we can hear your beautiful voices as we say goodbye today. Blessings, everyone.
Bye, everyone. Bye.
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 Thank
Blessings
you.
to
Thank
you
you.
all.
Thank you, everyone.
Blessings
You're a
all of
blessing.
you.
You're beautiful
Bye.
love.
Love you.
Okay.
Thank you
Thank
all.
you for
Bye.
today.
Go hug a tree.
Thank you for today.
I'm gonna plant a tree now.
Woohoo!
Hey, let's
Thank
plan.
you.
Planted 100 last year.
Good for you.
Yay. Bye, Jenny.
Birth a
Thank
tree. Go
you.
birth a tree. Then hug the
Noel.
tree.
Thank you all.
Thank you,
Roma.
Theo.
Nice to
Much
see
love.
you. Yeah. Blessings, everybody. All right.